There's already a lot of energy coming through today. I'm opening up the energy field. I can feel the divine frequency. It's already here. Normally it comes a bit kind of midway through. But this one feels very potent, quite persistent. Okay, I'm expanding the energy field. Allowing it to take up more space. Allowing for more space between thoughts. Allowing for more movement, less stagnation, and making the energy field more receptive to the guidance. Mental activity, mental preoccupation. So the specific mental preoccupation that's showing itself is like the constant need to be engaged in an activity, whether that be like a mental thing or like being on one's phone or never being still. Basically, it creates this type of like mental buzz in the energy field. So I'm clearing that. Clearing any worries. There's quite a bit of worry. It's circumstantial worry, so worry about one's life or one's life circumstances, or certain situations in the world. Clearing. Clearing the energy of mental fixation that's coming up. So basically fixating mentally on certain mental loops. Trying to resolve something with the mind that can't be resolved with the mind. Okay, there's a bit more stillness now. Clearing any expectations, any ideas of how this transmission will go, or what you will feel, or what will open in you, or what will not open. We have a very divine quality with us for this one. Okay, so I can see a releasing, so something's releasing. And I'm going to facilitate that. So it looks like the energy centers are expanding and they're releasing contraction. So I'm just going to help that happen. Let go of any tension in the chakras. The heart lights up in particular. You can also feel the lower chakras. They hold on to a lot of stress. Okay, the energy field begins to feel lighter. You feel more present, more still. I'm checking with this energy if it even wants to clear stuff, but it doesn't really seem that resonant. But I'm checking anyway. No, it just wants me to work with it straight away. Okay. You might be able to feel the field amplify when I put my left hand up, because this basically clarifies the base transmission, so it brings it into full form. Whereas when I'm clearing, it's kind of just in the background. Wow, we have a beautiful energy here. I don't know what it's doing yet. I don't know what it's for. So it'll take me a while to figure it out. But when I do, I will tell you. But it's already flowing. One thing I can notice is that I feel extremely free in my body. My body feels very free of karma. I'm checking if I have a body, because sometimes with the beyond the veil frequencies, I don't have a body, but it feels like I have a subtle form here. Unsure if it's like a physical form like this, but I can feel the type of energetic form. So I can feel certain density where the body would be, but it feels very light. Okay, so you're feeling that as well, or at least a lot of you will. And those who are still opening to their receptivity to energies, it'll take a bit of time, but that's fine, because the energy is still working. So even if we don't feel it, it's still doing what it's supposed to do on that level of your being. Okay, let's see. It's very strong, very gentle. There is a true nature aspect. So there's something about this frequency that has clarity. But what is it doing? I also feel I've come to a pause, like a pause of all momentum. And this allows the body to completely relax, because the body's kind of like responding to the bracing that we have, like bracing for the next event. You know, as soon as we finish with one thing, we're already anticipating the next, and the body kind of stays in this this mode of anticipation. So this stopping that's characteristic of this frequency allows the body to just really come to a pause and to stop anticipating. You can also feel that the mind is paused as well, so there's much less mental activity. The lower chakras relax as well, so the root, which holds a lot of tension in general, relaxes. Heart chakra responding. It's interesting, it's showing me that you're already being informed, so it's affecting your energy field in a way that you can kind of feel what it's doing, even though I'm not really there yet. It's funny. Okay, very vast. The field got very, very vast. I feel no tangible limitation. So limitations are being shed. And just, even though I don't know exactly like what the frequency is, like the name of it, it's still doing all the things that I'm describing to you. So all of these effects that I am describing are basically being translated into your field. Third eye lights up, crown, there's also like total non-resistance. It almost feels like the effect that happens on the being level where clarity is seen. So that's kind of like the closest that I'm getting so far. It feels like if you have an awakening experience, or if you see something about your true nature, everything comes to a stop because you recognize you were living in a type of illusory momentum, seeking or moving through the world in an unconscious way. Everything comes to this clarity-filled pause, and the body relaxes because it's no longer in that river of like unconscious pushing. So that's what it feels like right now. Yeah, there are no questions. So that's also palpable. No more questions. No more seeking momentum. So this one will be particularly good for those who have a very strong seeker identity. That struggle to see the fact that it is already here. So you struggle to believe and to see that this is it, and so then it propels the seeking motion. And so what this frequency is doing is it's actually doing the reverse. So normally you'd have the insight and then this would happen. So everything would come to a pause. The body would pause. There's this effortless clarity. The mind comes to a stop. This frequency is basically dismantling that from the other end. So it's bringing the mind to a stop, relaxing the body, stopping the seeking momentum, so that what's naturally here and what's naturally present can just effortlessly come forth. Because it's only the momentum of the seeking itself that veils true nature in a lot of cases. So that's why we're bringing this seeking and this pursuit to a pause. Okay, natural curiosity arises because curiosity can only happen where this system is relaxed and present. If the system is not relaxed, if the mind is still bracing for enlightenment to happen, if the body is still working toward that, there's no room for curiosity, because curiosity is an exploration of what is already here. Or rather, I guess it's not like you explore to find. Curiosity is a natural kind of a characteristic of true nature almost. You live in a type of endless curiosity. So it's not the curiosity that needs to be satiated, and that's where the difference is. Because sometimes when people hear you just need to be curious, then they think, oh, I need to look and I need to find. But this is not what that is. So this is a natural curiosity that just comes into the energetic realm, and you suddenly feel present and curious. And that's where it stops, kind of. It doesn't have to develop into like a looking or a searching or trying to find what you're curious about. Okay. You're going to feel that each of the centers, the energy centers or the chakras, where you hold the most of this momentum or the most of the seeker identity, they're going to be activated. So you can just feel in your body. And this is going to be a type of guidance that is a center that is charged with the seeking momentum. And it's not to say that it's going to light them all up, but I can see it lighting up the major areas. Yeah, no questions, just clarity. And the mind grasps as well. I'm just going to clear that. It's natural, but it's the mind stepping back into the pushing momentum, so out of habit. It feels this pause, and then it says, but what can I do with that? How do I make it progress? How do I da 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 da? So I'm just clearing that. Bringing the mind back to the pause. Because this pause is really it's the pause of true nature. It's the pause of the belief in the moment. The belief that the moment really does hold what you seek. And it's a natural byproduct of the relaxing of the system. Because when you're not pursuing, what else is there to do but to be here? So we're dismantling all the threads of grasping. There's also a habit energy. For those who have been seekers for a long time, there's a very strong habitual pull to keep looking for the thing that you want to find. So this transmission is also working on that, or working with that. And so because this feels so system-based, it feels so body-based, I can really just feel the centers relaxing. It's very interesting. Whereas my other transmissions, they're a lot more in the head, but this one doesn't want to bring you to the head. So it's bringing in obviously like a certain state of euphoria and a shift in consciousness, yes, but it's more so focusing on the level of that which cannot really perceive truth. Like the body can't really perceive, it can't really get it in that way, and the mind can't really get truth, right? And so these systems can kind of, without knowing it, keep pursuing something that's already here because they don't really actively see it. It's only like way down the line where one starts to like work on awakening of the body or the awakening of the mind, where the mind and the body begin to get their own taste of like what true nature really is. But right now what we're working on is the system level habitual draw toward this pull. And this is also going to work on other areas. So for a lot of us, the seeking energy was the one, or is the one, that is the most prominent. But it's also going to dismantle other grasping energies. So where you're not identified so much with the seeker, there will be other graspings or other pursue in your life, just because that's the nature of the mind. So it's going to work on that. Okay, it asked to get stronger. So I said, yes, it's going to get stronger now. It's also a very strong feeling of clarity and understanding. And that's also characteristic of this pause. It's not the understanding that comes from attaining an understanding or attaining knowledge. It's the understanding that comes through the cessation of attainment. And it's not in a passive way. So we're not pacifying the seeker. We're not saying, oh, you don't exist. You're not here to find anything, because that just creates energy suppression. We're relieving the seeker of its duty. So this is a relief mechanic. It's the relief that the seeker encounters when true nature is seen. And now it's going to have a reverse feedback effect, if that makes sense. Now true nature will shine more brightly, instead of going the conventional route where, like I said, something is seen and then the seeker relaxes. Sometimes unconventional means are required. It's also working really on the heart. You can feel the heart, because the heart center is where we recognize a lot of this stuff. It's also this feeling of arrival, but it's like you don't know where or how or anything. It just feels like I've arrived. And it's felt as this rest, like when you finally like get to where you've been trying to get to. Well, even my body like relaxed. Wow. It's also communicating. So that reverse feedback thing is happening that I said would happen. And of course, the mind grasps, like, I want to see it. I want to see the feedback. I want to see true nature. Now that my system is relaxed, I want to see it. But that's again the mind reverting back to the mode that it knows. Because awakening, it's a whole new mode of living for the mind. The mind has to learn to live from the present, which is actually very difficult for the mind to do, because it's been, a whole lifetime of anticipation toward the future or whatever, working with the past. And the body also has to learn in its own way. But so these are kind of like, they catch up kind of last, if that makes sense. So it's very quick, even if clarity is here, understanding is here, clarity is here, but the mind just overlooks it and reverts back to the habit. So again, we're working on this. How nice does it feel just to have a bit of relief? From something that's so consuming. It's a sacred relief. It's so unique. One of the very few of its kind. Normally we get relief when we get something, or we attain it, or we reach a place. But this type of relief is the sacred relief of already here. I've always been that. I got goosebumps. And now I can live. Now I can really live. Because I was in a trance. I was in a dream, believing that I had to find what I am. I was in an illusion created by momentum, never really stopping to question it, because I couldn't pause. But now we pause the system. So much rest. And then there's an element that comes in of free will. Are you willing to believe that it is already here, or are you not? Because you see, this transmission can bring you to this place, but it is your choice whether you deviate from here. It's entirely up to you. You could step back into the stream, back into the momentum, or you could stay here. And live. Okay. I will now seal up the energy field. A lot of energy. My hands feel like they're kind of struggling to come together. Thank you.